Hey! Hey!
Oh, hey, Grimlock.
Why you no transformed me Grimlock yet?
Yeah, sorry about that.
You finish horror film?
That's true. The Cookie Crumbles, the horror film that I edited, is now playing in festivals.
So long between videos.
I know, it's a long story, but I'm also having to look for a job. So I cut together a new reel for anyone looking to hire a world-class editor with motion design skills.
You put me, Grimlock, back in box. My rigid grill structure getting cramped. Me, Grimlock, have to listen to him, Grimlock, complain all night.
You stay out of this, Vintage Grimlock. Look, do you remember what happened after I unboxed you? We're gonna lift his head. I broke the toy. So yeah, I need to train up a bit before I tackle that again. You mean a lot to me, Grimlock. I don't want to do it wrong and risk damaging your rigid grill structure.
Aw, me Grimlock appreciate that.
Thanks, Grimlock. Okay, now quiet, you guys. I gotta start recording the new video.
Tell us, Grimlock, about petro rabbits.
It's been a while since I made a bold statement, so here goes. I consider Chuck Jones to be the greatest animation director in the history of the medium. I could go on and on about the reasons why, but what it boils down to is that he was a master of that magic combination of art, of timing, and of character. And what I specifically want to talk about involves all three. This is Moments I Love, where I autistically hyper-focus on a moment in a cartoon that I love. Chuck Jones was a master at constructing these sequences within a cartoon that were perfect nuggets of comic escalation all on their own. A series of gags that would start small and get more elaborate and funnier with each iteration and land on a perfect final joke. Think of Bugs Bunny's elaborate finishing move against that Gullah Bull in Bully for Bugs. Or Robin Hood Daffy trying to pull off a dramatic
Yoinks! And away! Yoinks! And away! Yoinks! And away! No, friend! Yoinks! And away!
When it comes to a perfect sequence within a cartoon, the moment I love is from the 1952 cartoon, Feed the Kitty. This is an all-time top 5 Desert Island cartoon for me. There are flashier and more elaborate works in the Looney Tunes canon, but this one is small-scale perfection. Mark Anthony is your classic cartoon bulldog. It's one of the cartoon tropes of the era. When it comes to dogs, bulldog equals tough guy. While serving as a guard dog for his comfortable mid-century suburban home, Mark Anthony meets the kitten. The kitten is not named in the cartoon, but is referred to in other sources as Pussyfoot. Feels weird having to say that though, so I'm going to stick with the kitten. So it's your classic setup. Hardened guy melts and becomes protective of a small cute character. It's one of the oldest tropes in pop culture. It's become the template for modern Star Wars.
Sometimes when I look at Luma, I see her mother's face.
And it resonates with me. Here, it's an excuse for some cute kitten business from someone who's clearly been observing their own cat. Of course, the wrinkle is that Mark Anthony is already in trouble for making messes, so he has to keep her a secret. The fun comes from the ways he tries to hide her. From the makeup table
Now I have seen everything.
to the flower bin, right as the lady of the house comes to make cookies. And here's where we get to the moment I love. Mark Anthony sees the kitten get scooped up in the measuring cup and end up in the mixing bowl as it goes into the stand mixer. But when he tries to distract his owner by doing the old whipped cream foaming at the mouth gag, she puts him outside so he doesn't see the kitten get out. So he watches with escalating horror in a series of classic Chuck Jones takes as he thinks she's getting mixed, rolled, cut, and finally baked at 450 for 4 hours. At the end of it, Jones perfectly captures that shell-shocked look just after you've seen something that horrifies you to your soul, and you have to try to go on somehow after what you've witnessed. And then...
Here.
That's the look Inigo Montoya's heart gave when he watched his father die. Here's my criteria for perfection, and stay with me on this. If aliens came to Earth and said, "Show us this Earth thing you call humor," this is what I would show them. Within this larger story, it's this perfectly self-contained little story arc in less than 45 seconds. Watch the whole thing again.
All right, Mark Anthony, I think you've been punished enough. My, what a long face. Well, I know just the thing for that. Here.
It's such an iconic sequence that it was referenced in Monsters Incorporated, my favorite Pixar movie, and one that has its own moment I love. Mark Anthony and the kitten appeared in a few more cartoons, but were never big stars at Looney Tunes. Unlike the A-list characters who could go anywhere and do anything, these two worked best in this one low-key exercise in animal cuteness. Their last couple of appearances in the classic series were essentially the same setup, but threw Claude Cat into the mix as an antagonist. So, down in the comments, we're doing Moments You Love, Looney Tunes edition. Scroll down and tell me your favorite moments from Looney Tunes cartoons. Bonus points for older or more obscure ones. And while you're down there, hit like and subscribe to get notified when I have a new video out. Not sure when that'll be, but it'll be soon. I promise.
He never going to transform in me, Grimlock, is he?
You think you have it bad. He's been saying he's going to build us for 4 years. My tachyon particles are getting compressed faster than the speed of light.